Righto guys, welcome to Shark Bay. I'm Sam.
And I'm Maddie, and welcome to our Western Australia series.
In this episode, we make our way all the way up to Shark Bay, quickly exploring
Shells.
all the major things to do on the way, and then over to Denham and Monkey Meow.
It's so bloody expensive when all you get access to,
where we get the most disappointing experience.
It's just not worth the experience.
Followed by the off-road adventure to some of the roughest remote roads we have been to since the Gibb River Road.
and I tell you what, this is bloody boggy. It is like...
Having multiple issues, including someone paying thousands of dollars for a tow from the Cape. Enjoy. Well, entering Shark Bay really had some excitement about it and such a surreal feeling driving in. But we were not off to a great start and went down a road that had a closed sign, despite Google Maps saying it was open. We quickly turned around, found our way, and made our way to one of the biggest historical attractions in the area.
Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car. I got a plan to get us out of here. I've been working.
Don't forget, guys, if you are enjoying the content, flick us a subscribe. We are creating videos every 2 weeks for you guys to watch. Plus, we have discount codes at some of the biggest companies around Australia, including iTech World, Undercover Australia, Salty Captain, and Fire to Fork. Using the discount code Always Touring, and even our own quality merch for you guys to wear when you are out touring. I thought I'd start this adventure here in Shark Bay at the World Heritage listed site known as the Stromatolites, which is actually pretty epic that it's in our backyard, we've just found out. So basically it is one of the oldest, or is the oldest fossils in the world that created oxygen from photosynthesizing the bacteria to create oxygen for the first time, as well as in South Africa, to create life as we know it on Earth. It just basically turned the carbon monoxide that was in the Earth and was basically uninhabitable to like any sort of life, and then basically converted to oxygen and basically has created to where we are now. Couple of facts about the place. So usually there's a boardwalk out there.
So in 2021 in April, it got damaged by a cyclone. So Hamlin Pool Boardwalk is now closed and it won't open till 2027.
Yeah, which I think is a bit of a joke because like a World Heritage listed area and there's only like one other location in the world and they're taking 6 years to buddy rebuild it or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then basically you want to come here at low tide to see the Stromatolites. Obviously we got here at high tide, so we can't see them, but it's 2 meters out for like 750 meters. So it's like a massive top end tide. So it brings all the water out and then you can see all of the Stromatolites and it's pretty epic, but the water's pretty blue, hey mates?
Yeah, apparently the water's quite blue because of all the salt as well and because it's quite shallow as well.
Yeah, definitely check this one on your way up to Shark Bay because it's like a really, really cool historical marker. Even if you're not into the history of things, I think it's pretty bloody epic that it's right here in our backyard in Australia to have this much historical evidence.
Just cross the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs. Finally see what it means to be living. You got a fast car, so fast enough so we can fly away. We're gonna make a decision. Live tonight, die this way.
Alright, if you've got a missus or kids, lock them up or set aside like 2 or 3 hours because we've just arrived at a place called Shell Beach. Maddie's already done the runner over there. She's been up there for about half an hour just looking at all the shells because anywhere we go, she's collecting shells for like 45 minutes to an hour and often I need to get the drone up to go bloody find her. Where are you off to, Mads?
I'm just checking out the shells, that's all. I'm so excited to be here at Shell Beach. As you know, I absolutely love my shells and collecting them. Do you know this beach is made out of 60 kilometers worth of shells and 10 meters deep of cockle shells? As you can see, all shells.
Come on, give us a big throw.
2, 3.
Did you see the sign how it said that you can't collect any shells and take them with you?
I actually won't collect any of these shells because as you can see, there's so many and that are so fine. I wouldn't want to ruin something so amazing like this.
Righto, that's your shell segment done.
So remember we are driving your car. The speed so fast, felt like I was drunk. City lights lay out before us, and the all-felt nights wrap around my shoulder, and
Our last stop before we make our way up to Monkey Meow or Monkey Meow, depending on how you pronounce it, and have the most disappointing experience yet on this trip, and then make our way up to the Francois Peron National Park is what I would consider one of the best lookouts in the region. Make sure you add this one to your list.
The bottle, that's the way it is. Said his body's too old for work. His body's too young to climb.
So I've just informed Samuel that we're heading to the Thon Shack where there's heaps and heaps of G-strings, and you are a little bit excited about that, aren't you? What did you say? You want me to put one on?
Okay, I'm starting to get the gist. This is the thongs that you wear in your feet. You're lame.
My poor man. They are the thons that I was talking about.
I have been stitched up. I was looking forward to some banger G-strings you're going to throw in there.
Why don't you try one of those G-strings on and see how it fits you?
Not when you have slappers.
I'm sick and tired of the 9 to 5. Not a way to be living my life. Wanna spread my wings and learn to fly.
Rightio, so we have just rocked up into the town known as Denham, which is on the opposite side to Monkey Meow, because this is where is the best place to sort of get your fuel, your food, top up on everything, visit the visitor centre to get as much information on the area. Visitor centre gave us all the info right up to Cape Peron, Steep Point, including what tyre pressures, all the parts of the track that are difficult, as well as everything about the dolphins at Monkey Mire, how to see the dugongs to go out on, everything like that. And the town itself is actually really, really nice over here. It's definitely the town compared to Monkey Mire. They've got an IGA and all the facilities, really, really nice crystal clear water as well. And yeah, it's good to go.
So how was your whatever it was?
I think it was actually quite cool and quite creative. You can't tell from a distance, but once you get up really close, you can actually see every tiny little shell made up into these blocks. I think that's...
So what is it?
Well, it's a... Sorry, oh God, it's a shell building.
Moving off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school, that's what I did. You got a fast car. We go cruising, entertain ourselves.
So just a little cracker of a spot on your way to Monkey Meow from Denham. Stop at a little place called Little Lagoon, get your drone up, and mate, the view of this lagoon, it's a salt pan basically that fills out with water, so it's still salty. It's absolutely phenomenal. But while I've got you guys here, I wanted to quickly just share with you guys something that's been absolutely niggling me with the solar panel. So I've got the 350 watt on top that I got from Kickass, and I noticed as soon as I get the smallest amount of shade on there, I drop from like 15 amps to 2 amps. And then if it's even like a little bit more partially shaded, it goes straight to 0. And now on their website, it says that even under partial shade that it'll still work. But even if I cover about 5% of it, I drop majority of my amps. It's to the point where I'm almost at 0, and it's been absolutely bugging me since. So I don't know if you guys have any recommendations. I'm gonna probably end up going with the iTech World one, because as you know, we run all of their electrical gear, and it's been the most reliable thing so far throughout our setup we've had over the past 12 plus months. But mate, I tell you what, it's been struggling to keep up with the 200 amp hour lithium that I've got connected to the projector here as well. Which, on the other side, I'm also having problems with the solar charging through that. So it hasn't been the best so far with that solar on the roof. And anyone knows when your solar's not working, you're relying on your car to drive, or we have to get out and throw out the 300 watt iTech solar blanket we've got out at the moment. But, oh, bloody annoying. We've just entered Monkey Mire, and obviously you've got to pay your permit at the front. $15 per day per person, or $25, or it was like $60 a month. I'll just drop it in. I just quickly filmed it then. Like, what the hell? That's so bloody expensive, and all you get access to is the RAC park, and then it also includes the dolphin feedings, which start at 7:45 in the morning, and they do 3 feedings in the morning, and then they bugger back off. So sometimes they said they arrived at like 9 AM this morning.
Now work in the market as a checkout girl, and all things will get better. You'll find work now, get promoted, we'll move out of the shelter.
Well, when we got to Monkey Mire, we had a bit of a different style treat yourself day, given the surprise as to how luxurious this bloody joint was. We had a good reset before we woke up the next morning to a very unexpected and disappointing start to the day before we head up to the Francois Peron National Park.
What time is it, Mads?
past the time you're meant to be there. You're meant to be there 7:45.
It's dolphin time.
And it's
That's what I meant.
7:59 dolphin time.
Lucky we can get down there and feed the dolphins.
There's really big dolphins. Run, Sam, run. So guys, we do have piccolo.
Alright, so this morning we've woken up and we've made our way down to the Monkey Mire dolphin feeding frenzy, because that's what I'm going to call it. We get down there and there would have been like, what, 300 people waiting around for the dolphin. And as soon as you saw the dolphins come in at like 8:15, you're supposed to be there at 7:45 on the dot. Everyone went down to the jetty and you could not see
Not just everyone went down. It was like there was an apocalypse. They were all like running, pushing each other out of the way. It was
and you can't even feed the dolphins. Well, they choose one person to feed the dolphins. Oh, sorry, dolphin.
A couple of people to feed the dolphin.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, no offense, it's just not worth the experience just having everyone crowd around the dolphin. Like there were hundreds.
Well, I think it's worth the experience if you haven't had the experience before.
Well, on topic on that though, if you do want a better experience, in the past we headed down to Tin Can Bay, where you
Which is on Queensland side.
Yeah, which you actually get a better experience of
or
feeding
Kangaroo
the dolphin.
Island. Kangaroo Island goes all right.
Kangaroo Island too.
Yeah.
But when we went to Tin Can Bay, there was 18 people?
Yeah, exactly. And then Kangaroo Island, you can just go swim out on the bay and you'll get like 3 or 4 to yourself. So for us, that was that sucked, and that was a little bit embarrassing, to be honest. I mean, what the hell? Anyway, so we're just filling up with water because now we're going to be heading up to Cape Peron for the next few days and exploring right up to the very top, checking out Bottle Bay, Big Lagoon and all those iconic places. Getting off-road and basically putting everything to the test on the four-wheel drive. Everything seems to be going okay at the moment. As I said, there's a couple things that are just hanging on, and I really don't want to get bogged or be going over like some really heavy corrugations, because that might just either flick off a side rail or do something that is a little bit loose at the moment that we can't get spare parts for. Now, for those interested, I'll quickly show you on the map here, just as we entered the national park. We're going to go check out, there's a hot spring that is here at one of the stations. Then we're going to be making our way all the way up to the top to Bottle Bay. That's where we're going to be staying, potentially for 2 nights. And then checking out Cape Peron right at the tip. And then coming back down and then chilling at Big Lagoon and basically seeing everything along the way. Bit of a foggy morning this morning. We've just seen a caravan with a full drive come through. I don't know how far up they went, but that's a good sign, I think. So when you get to the sign to enter the Peron National Park, when you head into the full drive area, it recommends that you go straight down to 20 psi, because I don't know if you can see here, but it's really, really sandy, and that seems to be the terrain all the way in. And then one of the really cool things I've noticed as well, they've got an inflate area here for when you're on your way back out. You can re-inflate them so you don't absolutely screw your car and have to go all the way back into town if you don't have an inflator. And I think that's a really good idea. They should have it sort of these national parks more often when you hit these sandy areas. Good idea, but I also think it really helps out with those international students that I see come through, or international people, where they hire a four-wheel drive and they don't have an air compressor on board, and then they can use these as well.
Well, let's crack into this part of the episode. It is going to be an absolute cracker. Seriously, some of the most amazing places we'll visit, and we even have some dramas, so stay joined. This is going to be exciting. Now, the track up was absolutely beautiful. It was a very easy standard drive on your normal dirt sand roads with very little turn-offs to actually go out and do stuff. But it wasn't long until we met the section everyone talks about and gives this area the name. Check it out. Mate, we've just hit the last 10 kilometres up to Cape Peron, and I tell you what, this is bloody boggy. It is like, it'd be like 40 centimetres of just thick, soft sand really run it out. So you just like I'm sitting at 2.5 or 2,800 revs just to make sure I'm not getting bloody bogged and keeping the steering wheel going. Oh. That was such a fun part of the track, eh? Like, that is just bog central. Lucky we didn't get bogged, but I was sitting at like 3,000 revs to get through that. Just like deep corrugations in amongst soft sand.
And as a cameraman, I could literally see the car go, whoa, in the sand.
How did that go again?
Whoa.
Here's the boggy section. Oh, this is ridiculous. You just get like these little sections of what, maybe 200 or 300 meters of just bogginess, and you're just giving it hell.
I have to say, as a being camera woman, I am bouncing around in the car.
Thank God the bloody boggy section isn't at the turn off to Bottle Bay like it was to the cattle grid or whatever you call it. But this is a campground we're going to be staying at for the next 2 nights. So you just arrive here and basically you choose the spot. You got the day use down here, you got generators, no generators, and hopefully we can bag a spot right up on that beautiful beach on the no generators site, unless you want to be listening to generators or...
No, thank you.
Given our first camp was on the way to the Cape, we wanted to check it out to see what was available and bag to site. As most of you probably do as well, when you get to these areas, having a good campsite sometimes makes or break things. So we like to get that out of the way so we can spend as much time having fun over the next few days.
Holy moly, gorgeous. So, we've just rocked up to camp at Bottle Bay and wow, the waters are so blue and the sand is so white and we have a beachfront view.
There's like no one here. It's like Ningaloo Reef 2.0. I'm definitely keen to get out the snorkels if I can see that there's a bit of reef line just here as well. Check this out, mate. Look at the cliffs down there. You got the red cliffs, white beach, blue ocean, no waves, calm as anything. Hopefully this storm bypasses us, but mate.
I think we should get out into the water.
Well, look at that. Some of the best looking water we have had seen since Coral Bay. We couldn't help ourselves but go for a swim before we punched up to the Cape. All right, so we've just made it up to the Cape, and mates, check that out. Seriously, like it's 10 kilometers past the Bottle Bay, so that's how far we're gonna go back to campsite.
But
these cliffs are amazing, eh?
It's giving me James Price Point vibes, definitely, with that red dirt and the red cliff.
The track up here past Bottle Bay, real easy. You got Skipjack Point, which is the lighthouse, which is about 700 meters from here. It's all in a real close location. Got any history about this place, mate?
Unfortunately not, but I do know there's a lighthouse here and it's a great spot to see a lot of marine life like dugongs, sharks, dolphins, pelicans, you name it.
Yeah, so apparently you can see dugongs on a rare occasion out here, but otherwise the best way to see them is going on one of those charters out to wherever. Now we came across some unlucky, but I would have to say some unprepared travellers who did bloody well to get their vehicle up here, I might add. But we had to try and help them get their vehicle going as they were having some what we thought were some battery issues. I just let it charge and that's charging now. Let me, I'll rev it for 10 seconds and then at 10 seconds you start it over. If you have a look at the bolts here, Matt, you can turn that up. If you hold, right, so that's reading 12.48.
Yeah.
When he goes to start it, can you let me know what it drops down to?
When he starts, it's not.
When he starts his, so
Yeah.
I'll rev it and it will go up.
Mm-hmm.
And when he starts it, it should drop and let me know how low it drops.
9.7.
And then you guessed it, we had another person who was traveling solo in the vicinity who needed help as well, just starting their car.
Is that another car you got working?
Second car we got going.
With not even a thank you from that person, we moved on, but should note the original couple we had met had Starlink and had to pay over $3,000 to get recovered from that area back to the blacktop, which is absolutely ridiculous. We offered to tow them back to the blacktop, but they refused, so we moved on and continued the exploration of the national park.
Far out, how was that for a bit of a dilemma? 2 cars, we could get one jump started, and then the other bloke's having to pay $3,500 to get a tow truck from Denham all the way up to Cape Peron up here, and the insurance company is going to have to fight about, he's through NRMA, or as everyone knows is RACV, or whatever you call it around Australia, where they claim to get you wherever, but then they told him no because he's not on bitumen road. So if anyone's had any experience in that department, we've had better luck where we've gotten towed in South Australia, and we had great coverage with them, but what a ridiculous. Anyways, we've rocked up to Skipjack Lighthouse Point. Apparently that's the lighthouse. What are your thoughts on the lighthouse, Mads?
I hope that's not the lighthouse, otherwise that's severely disappointing.
And then over there you've got basically the walk that goes in and around the headland point. And then you have this amazing view of the crystal clear blue water, different colours there with the red dirt. And it's a gem of a spot, isn't it?
It sure is, and I'm hoping we might be able to see some sharks or dolphins in the water.
City lights stay out before, city all felt nice wrap around my shoulder, and I had a feeling that I belong, had a feeling that
I know, that answers your bloody question about going down there and spearfishing and snorkeling, eh?
Well, it's going to be shark bait.
So we have a tiger shark, or it could have been a sandbar shark, a lemon shark, or a black tip reef shark. It definitely wasn't that. Definitely wasn't a sandbar. I reckon it was too small, too big for a lemon shark. I reckon that would have been a tiger shark. You going swimming with tiger sharks, Saab?
his body's too young to look like it. Mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said somebody's got to take care of him. So I quit school and
Pretty bloody epic spot, a place you really don't want to miss whilst you were up this way. Spotted so many bloody sharks, and I could probably guess why, as there was a huge school of fish just sitting there right below the lookout.
get better. You'll find work now, get promoted. Won't move out.
But we left the Cape at that and made our way back to camp, as there is something we were pretty keen on showing you guys.
See fast enough, so you can fly away. You gotta make a decision. Leave tonight or let die this way.
So plan is we're going to be set up here for a few days and really just enjoy the spot of the blue water and the contrast of all the colours and just have a bit of a relaxing time, hey. But I just wanted to quickly show you what we're using so we can stay here comfortably for a few days. So as you can see behind me, I've got the 300 watt iTech World solar blanket sitting out at the moment. That keeps both of our batteries charged, our 120X which powers our fridge and our freezer, as well as our 200 which we use our induction cooker, and our 240 volt inverter that basically we can run anything like we can at home. And just as importantly, just to help with longevity while we're out doing stuff, we've got the Starlink set up. So that'll be on all day, every day, basically keeping everything powered. It's really, really easily set up because we've got this undercover Australia canvas bag that we store our Starlink in, where you can literally just pull the cord out of it and then pull the other cord for the dish, and the rest of the components can stay there. What are your thoughts on that little setup, Mads, for the next few days?
I love it. It's so relaxing, and we can actually just enjoy the place itself rather than having to worry about our setup and pack up.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want a discount code on any of those items, the undercover, any of the iTech World gear, it's no Mads and Sam, you get a good cheeky discount, and it keeps supporting our channel as well.
Oh, don't put it near me. No, they're highly venomous, poisonous.
Eel, man.
Ew. No, that's just, oh, yeah.
It's an eel.
Just, oh, no. No, don't. No, that looks like a snake.
What? That's an eel.
That's a snake. Yeah, that looks snaky.
That's an eel, Madison.
Oh, I don't know. It's disgusting.
What do you thought? Don't you love eels?
No, that's one thing I don't like is eels. Nuh-uh.
I also just bloody realised the reason why when we're on the Ningaloo that we got a dead battery, and that was because I had left this switch on just there, which is for our inverter that we use in the car so we can charge our laptops
whilst we're driving. And luckily I just decided to check on it before we sat here for a few days, and we're still sitting at 12.4 volts, which is good for the battery. We're at 11.8 when we were sitting on the Ningley.
Oh, well, I have to say, the missus did ask him, did you turn it off? And I got a, yeah, I'll turn it off.
Righto guys, I tell you what, I'm so bloody over these corrugations, hey, like soft sand, these deep corrugations as we're going through them, it's bloody driving me insane, and particularly now that we're heading from Bottle Bay, we're making our way down back south of Cape Peron towards Big Lagoon.
So yesterday we were expecting some really heavy winds, but fortunately for us they were southerly winds, so we didn't get affected by them like at all. So the water was calm, we had a great day on the beach, and I went and did a bit of exploring, and I headed right down to the other end with the rock edge and did a bit of shell collecting while Samuel did some admin and actually did work.
Yeah, so we just had a relaxing day. Today we're going to be exploring the southern end, as I said, because the top two camping spots in this area is one we just stayed at, Bottle Bay, which we can definitely see the reasoning for, and then Big Lagoon as well. And there goes our bin bag. That's how bad the corrugations have been getting, hey mates?
I was half expecting it, so I took all the important stuff out.
Yeah, we noticed 2 days ago that it started getting some rips down the side, so we actually ordered the new Explore Life bin bag, but we weren't expecting for that to break this early on. So we're going to be without a bin bag for a week. Where are we putting all the rubbish?
On your lap.
Not only cutting into your own gear is so bloody depressing, but being able to know that you have to cut it off completely and throw it out was a whole nother thing.
There goes our bag.
Now, I know what you're thinking. We did not leave all the rubbish behind, so we did a 1,000-point U-turn straight along the corrugations and went and picked it all up. Mads! I found the snatch!
I'm on rubbish duty.
Oh, I'll take this bad boy. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah, it's all blowing out.
That is up there in the top 3 worst sanded corrugated tracks we've done in Australia, hands down. Deja vu, Mads.
Oh, I know. A bit ironic throwing out your own bin bag.
Big dog on full drive, or big dog on full drive?
Big dog going for a drive.
Man, the back of that tyre looks weird without a bin bag on it. It just looks out of place and blech. Right, so we've just arrived to Big Lagoon. It is the same price as it was at Bottle Bay. It's typical national park price, but definitely get in early for this one, because this one's only about 15 minutes past that turn off where you lower your tide pressures to get into the national park, so heaps of people get here really early. There's only 2 spots left. The first 1 to 7 campsites, caravans only, and then the rest up here, which are the better ones because you can actually see right out to the beautiful turquoise blue water sort of situated right in here in the bay with the red dirt. They're all like campsites, and then they've got a tent area at the back where you can park your car and walk your tent in. Mission for today, we've just found out some good news.
Little hot tip that there's good squid in here. Where was the point that they said?
I'm literally just out from the toilet. There's 2 points here, so we're going to go on a mission. Get Maddie her first squid, please, for God's sakes. Bring us some good luck after our bin ordeal this morning.
Next week, we move on from the Shark Bay area and make our way over to the most western point of Australia. Everyone knows a Steep Point. And I tell you what, there are some bloody surprises that are going to be happening along the way that we're not expecting. So stay tuned for 1 week's time.